מחר, בערוץ הראשון וגם ב-HD. בואו לאכול איתי, מחפשת משתתפים לעונה השנייה. היכנסו לדף הפייסבוק של התוכנית, לאתר רשות השידור, או התקשרו, ואולי תתאמו מהדבר הגדול הבא. השידור הציבורי שלכם ובשבילכם.
בוסטון. ראשוני המתיישבים שהגיעו לאמריקה נחתו בחופה המזרחי והגיעו לכאן. למקום הם קראו ניו אינגלנד, אנגליה החדשה. איתם הגיעו גם ראשוני היהודים לבוסטון. בבוסטון רבתי, המתהדרת במוסדות אקדמיים מהטובים בעולם, חיים כ-200,000 יהודים בקהילות מגוונות, שמרניות וליברליות כאחד. בית הספר היהודי קהילתי JCDS נוסד כקהילה פלורליסטית המבוססת על המסורת והשפה העברית, בדרך שמצליחה לאגד זרמים רבים. כך, למשל, התלמידים יכולים לבחור את התפילה המועדפת עליהם.
אז ברוכים הבאים ל-JCDS, בית ספר קהילתי יהודי בבוסטון. קהילה זה דבר מאוד מאוד חשוב לבית ספר שלנו, אז באמצע הבניין יש לנו 4 חדרים שהם לכל הקהילה. אני לא ישראלית, לא, אני אמריקאית, ואני רק מדי פעם חושבת שאני ישראלית.
I think school definitely is a big part because it's just like a community. Well, I've never really known any Jewish community outside this school.
אמה מתכוננת לבת המצווה שלה שתארך בבית הספר ומגייסת את בלה, חברתה המנוסה.
7 שנים ו40 שנה. And then I got the rest. Okay. ויאמר לו אמנה מצאתי חן בעיניך.
You have to make sure is when you're learning the new aliyah, still go over that.
וישתחו ישראל על ראש המיטה.
So wow, you do really good work on your own.
I want you to be one of the gabais because you know my portion better than anyone.
Do you want
and you're my best friend.
Is it at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want me to do a recording?
Yeah. I'm pretty orthodox. I go to synagogue every Saturday and I keep Shabbat, so I keep kosher too. I only eat hechshed food and I don't do any electronics or driving or writing or cooking on Shabbat. I once asked my mom whether we were conservative or reform or what, and she said she really had no clue. We were us. Well, if I fell in love with someone who is not Jewish, given my family, they would be absolutely fine because my dad is an ex-Christian. We celebrate the holidays and fast on fast days, but the only way we observe Shabbat is lighting candles and doing Havdalah sometimes. And we definitely don't keep kosher. Took the video.
Okay.
Part of what we as a family have talked about is why do we make the choices we do? And that's actually been one of the nicest things about the whole bat mitzvah process, is this is her making a conscious decision. I'm a Jewish adult. This is what that means to me now. She knows a lot more about the Talmud and traditional halakha than I did at her age. She's got the text skills, she's got the Hebrew, she's got the friends outside of our own practice.
So we have 2 teacher model in every classroom, 1 English-speaking teacher and 1 Hebrew-speaking teacher. And together, they run the classroom. The children are hearing Hebrew all day long.
Hashem Omer, יהי אור.
ויהי אור, ויקרא אלוהים לאור יום.
We are trying very hard to educate our children to be mensches, bnei adam, in this world. That we should all be welcome members in the community, and we all have something to give, something that's important, and we all count on each other.
I had always been intrigued by the idea of the relationship between Rachel and Leah. That's really where I started. It had to be more complicated than who was going to get to sleep with Jacob. So I kept reading, and then the Dinah story is just what happened. We don't really know what happened. It's kind of a mystery. Things are said about her. So I decided to focus on her. I had very little Jewish education as a child. And as an adult, I started studying the idea of midrash, that the rabbis of old created stories in the spaces between the words. The idea that you can turn the text on its head to make sense of it. Growing up in the time that I did, when women were questioning where are our stories, and not just in the biblical text, but everywhere in history. If you really read the text, even on a very basic pshat level, they're not such great people. They make terrible mistakes. They favor one child over another. You wouldn't do that in your family. They lie. They cheat. They cheat each other. Wives lie to their husbands. Husbands lie about she's not really my wife. So they're not paragons, which is, I think, why the stories are still so alive and juicy, because they are really about real people. I think this is the Scandinavian. I don't know which language. This is Dutch. This is the Spanish one, the Japanese one, which I just love. You know, of my words in this completely different language, different culture.
בידיה של אניטה הפך הסיפור המקראי של דינה בת יעקב לרב מחר עולמי.
Italian.
מסורת עתיקה המתלבשת בלבוש חדש.
Thai. It's Thai. Here's the Hebrew one.
I was born in Iran. My mother was part Armenian, part Assyrian, and part Iranian. My grandmother was converted by missionaries, and she was a Christian, and I was raised as a Christian and became Jewish before we got married. To me, Christianity posed more questions than it answered. There was too much that was taken on ultimate faith and a belief in something that I couldn't quite believe in. So my journey was a long one, but it led to what I think is the right path for me.
The first time I ever walked into a mikveh was for Jim's conversion. I mean, we were given a tour of the very Orthodox mikveh, which was open 2 hours a week for the liberal community, and it was not built to welcome people. It was really built for nidah. It was only open at night, except these 2 hours a week. I actually went back before I got married. I went alone, and I felt like an imposter. It was not a spiritual experience for me.
Now, comparing it to what existed, Mayim, I said, I wish that there had been a Mayim.
מקווה מים חיים שנוסד על ידי אניטה פותח את שעריו לכולם. מקום שבו טקס דתי הוא אבן שואבת שסביבה נבנית קהילה.
מים חיים, this is Leah. Good morning. Hi, Nat, how are you? The way that our space is set up is we have the mikveh area where someone would go and immerse. And we also have a large room that we use as our education and art gallery that someone could rent to use for a birthday celebration or after a conversion. Yes. How old is the person who is? Oh, great. That's so lovely. You know, we really don't get so many teenagers coming to immerse, especially 18 years old.
Alana?
אלנה, בת ה-12, באה לטבול לקראת בת המצווה שלה.
Congratulations. When's the big day? Tomorrow. Do you feel ready? Yeah. That's wonderful. Okay. We have 4 prep rooms and 2 pools. So if you come over here, we'll take a look at a mikveh pool. Do you see in the mikveh that orange handle? Yes. When you unscrew that, when you open the bore cap, that's what lets in the waters that's in the bore right outside, the waters from the rain mixed with our water. That's when it becomes a kosher mikveh. In that moment, it's not just a hot tub, it's a mikveh. There are only 3 commanded reasons why people have to immerse. One is conversion. The other would be brides before their wedding, and the other is women who come monthly for nidah after menstruation. In those cases, you do have to have a witness. The witness makes sure you are all the way immersed. But every once in a while, somebody's hand is floating on top of their hair, or they don't go under like this. They kind of go like that, and then we've got a tushy, and I have to say, do over. And that's why you take off your nail polish and your contact lenses and your makeup, and it's like being born again. You come up out of the waters of the mikveh the way you came out of the womb. We welcome immersions for non-traditional reasons as well as the traditional. So bar and bat mitzvah, you might be celebrating your 50th birthday or just completed your PhD or you're about to become a grandparent, you name it. So, do you think you would like a witness? Okay, that's all right. Yeah, all right. And then do you think you'd like a tub or the shower? Okay. All right, enjoy.
Watch over her, God. Give her courage, humility, happiness, and the love of good friends. Bless our family, God, with health, with peace, with joy, and with love. Amen. I love you so very much. Okay, I'll let you finish.
So when you guys write your research and have opinions about Toshba based on all of these things that came before, you will be part of the activity of Toshba and the activity of the being Achronim yourselves.
How does one technically come into it? Because if it's till now, then aren't we all technically Achronim?
אני חושבת שילדים צריכים להתפלל 2 פעמים בשבוע, כי לפעמים זה חשוב לדבר עם השם.
אנחנו התחלנו לדבר להקים בית ספר. In English we would say mirrors the community. זה קרה שכולנו דוברי עברית, ודיברנו כמה שזה חלק מהזהות שלנו והקשר שלנו ליהדות ולארץ.
אני לא מסכימה, למה? כי אם ילדים לא רוצים להתפלל כל יום או 2 פעמים בשבוע,
The stance that we take here in the school, because we've signed sort of a contract by being here that we're going to be accepting. So it's, this is what I do. This is my relationship with God. This is my relationship with Torah and mitzvot. But I can't tell you what your relationship is. That is up to you and God.
זה טוב אם הם יודעים איך להתפלל וקצת מהתפילות בסידור.
אני לא חושב שחייבים להתפלל פעמיים בשבוע.
We find something and we have mitzvah hasheva aveda. But we can't, it's not...
Almost every assignment the kids do through Tanakh, through humanities, that's English and history, they're asking questions about what do I think about this, what's my personal connection, how is that different than maybe it used to be, how has my perspective evolved as I've gotten older and more mature and can think more critically and analytically.
Last reads, you have to announce. You have to use the Mishnah, so make sure you know where it would fall.
Well, you can say, like, who are this?
A ring you have to return. You have to return a ring.
Maybe if it's unmarked. It has no name on it.
It has no name. It's just... Oopsie.
Talia, come on, here, like this. Yeah, you take a potato.
GCDS, I think it's very fun. Like, I know most of my friends who go to public school, they say, like, they're, like, sometimes very bored with all the stuff they have to do.
What I love is that you're going to be able to open up Jewish text and to have a completely unmediated experience that you're going to be able to decide for yourself. I went to public school, and I have always regretted the fact that I can't speak Hebrew. I feel like when I go to Israel, I can't immerse myself completely in the culture, and then I'm always a tourist. So more than anything, I want Talia to be able to feel completely comfortable being able to travel to Israel, have us not be two separate communities, but to have us really be, one Jewish world community.
I think it's really important because Hebrew is the land of our people. It's cool to be able to have, like, your own, like, you could say, oh, this is my language.
I mean, it's like a special identity.
I like a new, I'm not just some American. I go to shul every single Shabbat. I go to a Jewish day school. There's not a day when I don't have anything Jewish in my life.
I can go to shul, I can engage myself in the tefillot, I can lead services, but I don't know the complete meaning of what I'm saying. This is why JCDS is so important, because it's a community school, it has Orthodox families involved, it has secular Israelis, but there's a basic level of respect, of understanding that there are a multiplicity of voices, there are many ways to be Jewish. And yes, I know I don't live in Israel, right? But why should I be able to drape myself in a talit, right, and be able to say the Shema out loud here, but when I go to the holiest site in Jerusalem and in Israel, I can be arrested for davening, for praying. I mean, it just enrages me and makes me so upset. And another thing that I love about JCDS is that I don't have to look over my shoulder to wonder if I'm, frum enough. It doesn't matter if you wear pants, if you wear skirts. It doesn't matter. It matters that, we all care passionately about a Jewish future, and we all care passionately about our children and having them learn together, and realizing that the Jewish world has a multiplicity of voices.
At this point, I have absolutely no clue what will happen in my future life about who I meet and what I do, but I know that I will always want to stay Jewish. I think I will have no urge of, ever wanting to become anything else. That's nothing I could, I think, ever do.
That's nice to hear.
We needed a place where somebody who was converting to Judaism could take time, could look in the mirror before and after, think about what they were doing and reflect. A place where their family could come, a place where they could have a glass of wine and say a blessing afterwards. Also a place where the Beit Din could take place as well, so that it would be a seamless kind of ritual from meeting with the rabbis and talking about your decision and then walking into the water. So that was my genesis. That's what prompted me to start dreaming about a mikveh that was truly open for the entire community and was open during the day. The idea that liberal Jews needed a mikveh was, what do you mean? Why would we need this? But once we opened it, people realized that they could use this place, that there had been a gap. And if it hadn't been here, there are many, many brides, for example, who've come here who would not have come to mikveh before their weddings had there not been a place like this.
If each stone is a reason why men and women in this country do not engage with this ritual unless they grow up in an Orthodox community.
If you're not observing the whole ritual of not touching your husband while you have your period, then why would you go?
Right.
I was fearful because I remember not having my contacts in and thinking I was going to forget everything that I was supposed to do, and I was naked and there's these people behind the curtain.
A lot of people are very nervous, upset, freaked out about intermarriage and that we're going to disappear in this sea of intermarriage. And that's one of the challenges of living in a truly open society. There are no doors. There really are no locks on the doors anymore.
We live in a very small town in New Hampshire, and there's not a lot of Jewish people. You know, it's very rare to have in American culture, you know, a Jewish mom with a Jewish dad and Jewish kids. Our identities are constantly changing, and I think it's great to be here and know that, wow, I can be all kinds of things but still be Jewish.
I have a secret. I go to the mikveh every month for Nida to immerse after my period. It's not something I've been very forthcoming about. After all, I'm a Reformed Jew. Hardly the hen
immersed to mark the transition from the secular to the holy, from weekday to Shabbat.
I was honored to assist at the immersion of a severely disabled person. I cradled him in my arms as he immersed, let him go. He kept saying how sorry he was, and I kept saying, no, don't apologize, please. This is a mitzvah for me.
Welcome to Mine 5.
גם אליסה ופיטר בוחרים לטבול לקראת לידת בנם הבכור.
I was raised Protestant in upstate New York. I was always very interested in Judaism, but I just sort of assumed that it was something that you had to be born into, that it wasn't something that was accessible to me.
Both of my parents are Jewish, but my mother is very distant from the religious side of Judaism, but it's, just kind of, a New York Jew.
Definitely, at this point, we are much more observant than the rest of Peter's family. I don't feel that my identity as a black person and my identity as a Jew are mutually exclusive. I think that one enhances the other. I'm a mikveh guide here at Bיים. People are sometimes surprised when they see me. They open the door and I rise to greet them and I get a funny look, but it only ever lasts a moment. So I got this before my husband and I got married. It says Matzati Nafshi. It's written on our ketubah. It's from the Song of Songs. I think of myself as being a part of this community. This is a place where I feel at home.
It really does feel very much like a family.
One of the problems with the liberal community is that members of the community think that Judaism is something that's very important and something that they want to pass on to their children, but it's also not something that they have in their daily lives. So I think the most important thing that we can do for our son is to engage in Jewish spaces, make Jewish choices, whatever that means.
לחילונית כמוני שבאה מישראל לפגוש קהילה יהודית, או בואי נגיד מגוון של זרמים ביהדות, ולהיות שייכת אליה, להשתייך אליה באופן מאוד מאוד טבעי, זה המון.
ללמוד שפה זה גם עוזר להתפתחות של ילד.
מיוזיקה, ריקוד, הפסקה.
חשבנו על העניין של האינטגריישן הזה, איך אומרים בעברית? שילוב. והזהות של הילד, איך שבונים קהילה שגם ההורים וגם המורים שכולם לומדים כל הזמן וחוגגים ביחד.
And again, mayim, and shirkaziyas.
We're working with the World Zionist Organization that just decided to really have a focus on Hebrew. A language is a window into a culture. It's a window into a people. It connects people.
Our national story didn't happen here. Our national story happened there. When we daven, we pray to Jerusalem. We don't pray to Washington, D.C. We have to persuade them that Judaism is the way to go. And here's the thing, it's so easy, because everything we need is right there.